Hey everyone, today we're going to be solving multi-step inequalities. That means I'm going to have some variables on both sides, some distribution, and some combining like terms. So let's get started. So to begin with, let's solve 12 is greater than negative 2, parentheses y minus 4. And then we're going to graph the solution. So to begin with, if I have a multi-step problem, I'm going to solve it the same as a multi-step equation, except remember, if you're dividing or multiplying, yes, dividing and multiplying by a negative, I'm going to flip the sign. To begin with, I'm going to distribute. So here I go. 12 is greater than negative 2y. Negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 8. From there, I am going to now solve for y. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. 12 minus 8 is 4. 4 is greater than negative 2y, and I'm going to finish by dividing both sides by negative 2. 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2 is greater than y. Now it's asking me to graph the solution, so here's my number line. Negative 2 is going to go smack dab in the center. Make sure you put in the correct order. Negative 1 is bigger, negative 3 is smaller. Now I cannot include negative 2 as a part of my solution list, but I can include anything that is, if I read this carefully, all of my solutions. Now, since the y is on the right, I'm going to read it backwards. Y is starting with the small side, so y is less than negative 2. Well, which direction is less than? Less than is to the left towards negative 3. Now you might be inclined to not read it backwards. Maybe that's not for you. So if you are not a reading backwards type of person, reorder your inequality. Y, make sure the sign is still facing the correct direction towards that y. The smaller sign is towards y, negative 2. And I can see that it says the same thing. Y is less than negative 2. And y is less than negative 2. All right, next problem. If you have variables on both sides, again, solve it the same as you would an equation. The only thing is if you divide by a negative, flip that sign. So I've got both sides. So with variables on both sides, this is my larger variable side, so I would subtract the smaller of the two. 6x minus 2x is 4x, minus 5 is less than 11, plus 5 plus 5, 4x is less than 16 divided by 4. X is less than 4. All right, let's go ahead and solve a couple more. If you have this problem right here, we're going to change it black so we can see it a little better. I'm going to start by distributing. I have lots of x's on both sides, and I need to distribute first so I can combine them. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times negative x is negative 3x, plus 10x is less than or equal to 9x, because I'm distributing on this side as well, minus 18. And then don't forget to bring down the plus 7. Simplify both sides. So here's my two different sides. 10 and negative 3, make sure you combine it with the negative, combines together to give me 7x, and this 3 is positive, so plus 3 is less than or equal to 9x. There's nothing to combine with that, so I'm just going to combine negative 18 and 7, and that gives me negative 11. To finish off, I am going to collect the variables on one side and collect my numbers on the other. I see that this side has more variables. I'm going to make that my variable side. Get rid of variables off of the other side. 3 is less than or equal to 2x plus 11. Minus 11, pardon me. Then I'm going to add 11 to both sides. I end up with 14 is less than or equal to 2x divided by 2. Divided by 2, that gives me a final result of 7. And this time, it does matter what order I write this in. 7 is less than or equal to x. If you don't like the variable to come last, I'm going to rewrite it. X is greater than or equal to 7. Let's answer a story problem. You must maintain a minimum balance of $50 in your checking account. You currently have a balance of $280. Write and solve an inequality that represents how many $20 bills you can withdraw from the bank without going below the minimum balance. All right, remember with story problems and inequalities, we have some sort of limit. And this time our limit is a minimum of 50. So 50, and we have our bank account. How much is in there? Now, this time, do you want that amount in your bank account to be greater than 50? So do I want this value over here to be greater than or less than 50? Greater than, of course. And it says a minimum of 50. So would you be okay with 50? Yes. So I can put or equal to. On this bank account side, to write an expression that represents how much I have in my bank account, well, I had $280, but I am withdrawing. So that means I'm taking out. So I'm going to subtract $20. Now, I'm not doing that just once. I'm withdrawing them repeatedly. So I'm going to write minus 20x. And let's go ahead and solve that. So to start with, I'm going to take 50 and subtract 280. So I have 200 minus 280 minus 280. That gives me negative 20. X is greater than or equal to negative 230. To finish that off, I'm going to divide by a negative 20. Dividing negative 230 by negative 20, I have x is greater than or, oh wait, remember I divided by a negative. I need to do it with my sign, flip the sign, and I end up with 11.5. Now, if you ask yourself, can you take out $11, 11 and a half $20 bills? The answer is no. So I would adjust this. I can't take out more than 11. I've got to take out less than 11. So I'm going to change it to 11. And that would be my final answer. Oh, I dropped my or equal to 11.